Everyone, today I'm going to show you a little bit about how to play Cargotrain. Hopefully it's not too much of a mess. So in a game of Cargotrain, the first thing you're going to have to do is set up the playing area. It says board and the rulebook. It's not really a board per se, but the way you're going to do that is you're going to look at different cards. So you have these 5 cards here, and you'll look at these cards and you'll see the card, like this card is used in a 2-player game. In a 3-player game, you'd use both these cards. And this, so these are like 2-player game cards, so you'd have 3 cards in a 2-player game. If you're going to play a 3-player game, you would add this card, and a 4-player game, you'd add this card, as denoted by the number of players shown on here. So then, like same with these cards here, you have different types of train. I don't know, cars that are going to be in the game. And so, depending on if you're playing a 2-player game, you'd use these 3, a 3-player game, these 4, and a 4-player game, these 5. You have these tunnels here, so the same thing. In a 2-player game, you would have 2 tunnels. In a 3-player game, you'd have 3 tunnels. And in a 4-player game, you would have 5 tunnels. Notice in a 4-player game, though, you have a tunnel set of a different color from these ones. So these would be a connecting tunnel route, and these 3 would be another connecting tunnel route. And then lastly, you have this kind of repair station, which is just kind of a blocking mechanism used in the game. So if I'm going to set up for a 3-player game, so therefore I'm not going to use the cards with the 4-player symbols on them. And additionally, in the game, the cards that are in the game for the trains that you're going to be getting, there's a whole deck of train cards. So if you look at these initial setup cards, they each have their own type of train picture on them, and they are all unique and different from every other one. So in a 3-player game, I'm removing this card because it's determined for 4 players only. So that means all train cards that look like this are going to be removed from the game. So I'm going to take, well, not these ones, because these are all the different ones you do use, but all these ones, all these train cards, I'm not going to use them because I'm not using this card that requires them for a 4-player game. So all these cards are going to just be put back in the box. So to set up the game, you will take the, let's see, these ones are removed. You're going to take the different stations and you're going to set them out on the board, and you're going to set them like equally distant from each other. So let's just say I set up the board kind of like this here. And then you're going to take all the other cards and you're just going to mix them all up and shuffle them up and come up with some random setup. And you're going to go put an equal number of cards in between all the different stations. And then after you do that, you will flip them over, and that'll kind of determine how your board is going to look. Alright, so here's the board, and then what you're going to do is you're going to have all your different train cards, and you're going to take them and you're just going to shuffle them all up and mix them up. And then after you shuffle and mix them up, you're going to take 3 cards that are going to go to each of these different industrial stations. And you're going to see what kind of trains you have available, cars to pick up at that station. So these 3 types, these are 3 different kinds here. These different types of box cars, and those cars will be available at that station. And or maybe you want, I don't know which way you want it. I'll just do it inside. Here at the blue station, you're going to have these 2 are the same and 1 different car available there. And at this one, you're going to have 2 similar and 1 different here. And at the yellow station, you have 3 different types of cars you can pick up at that station. You're going to take the remainder of the cards, you're just going to set them in the middle because they will be coming to play later in the game. And then additionally, you're going to have these bonus end of game scoring contracts. And you're going to give one to each player. So there's 3 players in the game. So I'm going to take 1, 2, 3 cards, and those are going to go to the 3 different players. And I'll go over those a little later. You have this card here. This is just to determine who the start player is. So you're going to find some random way to determine start player and give that to somebody. And then you're going to pick which color train you want to be. Do you want to be? And you would pick this before the board's set up. But I'll just use these 3. So the red player is going to take his train, and he is going to start over at the red station. The green player is going to take his train, and he will start. Where will he start? I guess he won't. I guess that's in a 4-player game. So blue player will start down here, and yellow player will start up at that station. And so now you have the board set up for. You have the board set up for 3 different people: the red player, the yellow player, and the blue player. I'm sure if you wanted to use green, you would just substitute out, green for some other color in the game. Alright, so that's board setup. Now that the board is set up, let me just kind of show you the cards you get as a player. So each player gets 2 cards with trains on them. You have a level A train on the back side, a level B train, you have another card with a level C train, and another card with a level D train. And you'll look at the trains, if you notice in the bottom right hand corner, it shows you how many different box cars or what have you, or oil tankers or whatever you can attach to this train. So this train can haul around, it could pick up one of these different types of cars, and it can haul one single train around the board. If it upgrades to a level B train, it gets to haul around 2 cars behind it, a C 3, and a D up to 4. Additionally, to start, you have all these different number cards, and you're going to start with these 3 here, 1, 2, 3. And these represent how many spaces your train can move around the board. So the yellow player starts at a train, and he has these 3 options. And so for his first turn, he's going to choose whether he wants to move 1, 2, or 3 spaces. And so the yellow card is over here. So if he chose the 1 card, he could either move his train 1 space here or 1 space there. After he uses the 1 card, he can't use it until he's used the other cards. So now, let's say he moved that to that space. Now on his next turn, he either goes 2 spaces or 3 spaces. So let's say he goes 2 spaces. He could go 1, 2, or he could go 1, 2, but he can't go 1, 2. You can't go in one direction and then go out another direction. However, he could go 1, and for 2, he could travel through the tunnel, and he could come out this tunnel, and that could be his second move. So from here he could go 1, 2, because he went through the tunnel here. Or he could go 1, 2, and out the tunnel over there. And that's what I was talking about in the beginning, how there's these other tunnel cards. Notice this is a tunnel versus these ones that are B tunnels. If an A tunnel was on the board, he couldn't go in a B tunnel and come out an A tunnel. If you go in an A tunnel, you come out an A tunnel. If you go in a B tunnel, you come out a B tunnel. But something he could do, let's say he went, let's just say he finished his move. He went 1, and then 2, he came out this tunnel there if he wanted to. Well, that doesn't matter. Okay, so let's just say it's a different turn. Let's just say he's right here, okay? He's on this spot here. And he used his 3 move card. He could go 1 into the tunnel, 2 out this tunnel. Well, it's not going to work if this card was in here. Okay, let's say it was like this. All right, so let's say it goes 1, move to the tunnel, 2 moves, so he comes out this tunnel. Now notice he started, and when he started, he was going, in this direction, right? He went here from here to here, which means he was going in a clockwise direction. So if he went 1, 2, when he comes out of the tunnel, he can go in either direction he wants. So he could go 3. So even though he started in a clockwise direction, going through the tunnel allowed him to come out in a counterclockwise direction. You can never move through this station here. All right. So if someone used a 3 card and they started here, they couldn't go 1, 2, 3. You can't move through this. So again, a 3 card, if you went on top, you go 1, 2, 3, that's fine. Or you could go 1, 2, 3. You could not go 1, 2, 3. You can't go counterclockwise, then clockwise, or clockwise, then counterclockwise, unless you go through a tunnel, like I said, 1, 2, 3. So you're going to have these cards for these moves. Now, the thing is, when you start off a round, you don't like look at your hand and go, okay, I'll pick 2, and then the second turn, you don't go, okay, now I have these ones, and I'll go 1. At the beginning of a round, you have to put them in order. You have to decide what you want to do for the whole round. So, like, if I said, okay, I want to move 2, then 3, then 1, they go down on a table, and that's it. Turn 1, you just turn over a card, and that's what you do. You go 2 moves, and then you turn over a card, then I go 3 moves, and then I turn over a card, and then I go 1 move. All right, so everyone starts on their respective colors. You have your starting train, which allows you to move 1 piece of cargo around. You have your different numbers. If you upgrade to a level B train, you get to add the level B movement card. So now on my turn, at the beginning of a round, I have to choose 3 cards, but I have more options. I could choose 1, 2, 3, or I could choose 3, 3, 2, or 1, 3, 3, whatever configuration I want. And then if I upgrade my train from a level B to a level C, then I get the number C movement card. And so again, at the beginning of a round, I'm going to choose 3 action cards, and now I have access to going 1 space, 2, 3, 4 spaces, or 3 again. And then lastly, if I upgrade to a D train, I could add the D card, which means I could go 1 or 2 spaces. So, on a round I could go, all right, I'm going to do this. My cards in this order, and first I go 3, and my car ends up somewhere. Let's just say I go 1, 2, and then 3 out the tunnel. And then my goal was to go 2 spaces to move here, but during that turn this person went there and stopped me from going there. Well, then I can use the 1 space instead and go 1 spot and go to this station to pick up a car there instead. So it just gives you flexibility. Again, you only get this card once you get to the level D train. D train lets you have 4 cars, and so on and so forth. The 4 is the C. The C lets you have 3 attached cars, and then the B goes with the B card, which lets you have 2 attached cars. So those are the different bonus cards. Or not bonus cards, but movement cards. You do have bonus cards, as I handed out at the beginning, these contract cards. And different contracts give you different points. So this player over here has this contract card. And you can only have 2 unfulfilled contracts at a time. So at any point during the game, if he's able to pick up these different cars, and he gets 3 of the same car and also 3 different cars, and he gets them stored off in his warehouse, he's going to get 5 points at the end of the game. Whereas the blue player, if he has 2 of the same type of car in his warehouse at the end of the game and 2 different cars, and you can't use the same car twice. Like I couldn't use these 3 cards and go, okay, I have 2 of the same and 2 different. It would have to be 2 of the same in this card plus some 4th card being the different card. So 2 of the same, 2 different, and he's going to get 3 points at the end of the game. Red, 2 of the same and 3 different. He's going to get 4 points at the end of the game. And during the game, you can pick up other contracts. Like I said, you can only have 2 unfulfilled contracts during the game, but you can fulfill as many as you want during the game. All right, so the board is set up. And so what the cars are going to have to do, the trains, the people, they're going to have to determine what they want to accomplish in round 1. Now, when you start a turn, at the beginning of your turn, if you want, you can always take, if you're on one of these industrial centers, you can always take a boxcar or whatever, or an oil car, and attach it to your train and move it. So this person could, for before their turn starts or when it's their turn, their first move could be to take this train and then they would attach it to their car like this, and they would be able to move this around wherever they want to take it. So let's just say it's Blue's turn. He organizes cards in some order. All right, and so for his first move, he chose to go one space. So his first thing he can do, and this is the only time he can do something before moving, is he chooses to take this car and attach it to his train. So now he has one car attached to his train, and he's only allowed to carry one car. All right, so he's going to move one spot. He moves here, and this is where he's going to deliver this cargo train, because you can only deliver them to the matching centers. So he delivers this car because he went to the delivery space. So this car is just going to go into like a pile of cars that he's going to keep next to him, and it can just go face down over there. And as you build up these cards, all right, he's going to be looking to see about fulfilling his contract. So having this over there, he knows he needs to go somewhere else on the board to find another one of these types of cars so he could get two of the same, or he could get a different car for two different cars. All right, so he went one move. Let's say everybody else goes, and then next he goes again. He can go three spaces. But here, let me just play out around. So he went one space. So that was his move. We'll just say he went first, so we'll give him the first player marker. All right, so the yellow player, his contract is three of the same or three different. So he could pick up this oil rig. Before he goes to deliver an oil rig, he would have to get over here. So that would cost him 1, 2, 3, 4 spots. So he could look at his card and he could plan, okay, I'm going to do not these ones. I'm going to do a 3, and then a 1, and then a 2. All right, so he turns over his first card and he goes 3 spots. All right, so yellow goes 1, 2 into the tunnel and out to the tunnel 3, and he's over there. And the red player, oh, he forgot to pick up a card. He picked this up before he left, so he's got this car attached to his train. But then the thing is, when your turn's over, then you get to do, you get to choose one more action to do, and these are the different actions you can do. Let me just get the list up here. All right, so at the end of your turn, you can attach a car to your train, you can upgrade your engine, swap cars, dismantling cars, sign a contract, change order cars, or move an additional field. So let's just say at the end of Blue's turn, okay, what he did was he upgraded his engine. So he turned his level A train into a level B train, and now on the next round he's going to get to add this card to his move options. So I'll just set it over there, and let's just say that yellow did the same thing. At the end of his turn, he upgraded his level A train to a level B train, which will allow him in the future to move to cars. And also means in the next round he'll be able to use this. Alright, so it is now red player's turn. So let's see. Where red is, there is a one of these types of cars there. The delivery spot for this car is over here. He can't go this way because this is at the end of his blocking his route. So he would have to go this way, all the way over, and there's not really any tunnels over here. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, or 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 moves just to get there to pick that up, which he doesn't even have 7 moves. So he might not want to pick up this train. So maybe he's going to, maybe he was hoping, that this would be open up So let's just say he went 3. His hope was that this would be open up so he could get here to pick up one of these trains there. And then he was going to do a 1 and then a 2. So let's just say that's what he did. So he goes 3. So he plays a 3 action and he moves 3 spots. 1, 2, and luckily there's nobody here. So 3, he stops there. And at the end of his turn, he gets to do a move. He's going to upgrade his car from a level A train, all right, to a level B train. And in the next round, he'll get to add this card. All right, so that was Red's turn. So then it goes back to Blue, since Blue is the first player. All right, so next is Blue's going to move 3 spaces. All right, he can't move here and pick up anything. You could go 1, 2, 3 to this center and pick up one of these box cars. So if he goes here, let's see, to deliver this car would be here, to deliver this one would be there. All right, he's going to do that. He's going to go over here. 1, what was it, 3 spots? 1, 2, oh, he's not going to be able, 3 would get him here. All right, so he can't go there. 1, 2, well, well, I guess he's only going to be able to move 2, because you can't stop where someone else is, I don't think. I don't know, I forget. Let me check on that. Okay, yeah, you can land where another person's train is. So, I guess that example I was talking about earlier doesn't really make sense, but anyway. So number 3, he moves right here. So that was Blue, then I went yellow for seconds. Let me just reorganize these so I know the order. Alright, so yellow's turn is next. So yellow reveals a 1 card. And yellow's going to move here to where this station is. And yellow has one of those cards attached to its train. So this is going to come off of the train and it's just going to get put in yellow's warehouse. So yellow has 1 card. And then it's red's turn. So red is going to reveal their card and they have a 1 movement. So before red moves, red is at a level 2 train. So red, oh, and then these things get refilled. When a card gets taken, they get refilled. So that should be moved up to 3. And this one over here should have a 3rd one. Alright, so since red can now haul 2 trains, he's going to take both of these trains and these would be attached behind his train like this over in his player area. And then he's going to move his 1 spot and he moves here to where the oil tanker train spot is and he's going to deliver both of these trains. So these just go into his warehouse. And it's the end of his turn, so he gets to choose something to do. So let's say he upgrades his train again, so he's going to turn his level B train into a level C train. And the other players could have done that too. I didn't do that, so we'll just do that for everyone else as well. They'll just turn all their trains into upper level trains. So everyone has a level 3 train now. Alright, so then it goes back to Blue. Blue is going to turn over this card, and he's at a number 2. So he's going to go into the tunnel, 1, and then out the tunnel here. That's what he was doing, right? I'm trying to remember. Blue. I didn't have anything picked up. Alright, so 2. I guess 2 he'll go here then instead. So he's going to go 2 there. And as his bonus move, let me refill this. As his bonus move, he's going to upgrade from a level 3 train to a level 4 train. So he's now at a level 4, which means all of his extra cards will be allowed in the next round. So he's there. So then it's Yellow's turn. Yellow is going to reveal 2 moves. So where does Yellow want to go? Yellow will go, well, I guess Yellow will just go over here to this station also, and he's going to move up to a level 4 train. And then it's red's turn. Red reveals 2 moves. And red is going to go 1 into the tunnel, 2 out the tunnel. Red is going to head over to that station. So that's the end of round 1. So then these cards, move cards, get put back, and red upgrades to a level 4 train. So there we go. Everyone's at a level 4 train now. Alright, so now everyone has access to all their different move cards. So there's red, yellow's at a 4. He has all his different move cards that he has access to now, as does blue. Alright, so the first player marker is going to get moved to the yellow player. And then what the yellow player does is before the next round starts, they have to relocate this card here. And it can go where there's not any other cards on top of something. So it can't be moved here, but it can be moved here. It can be moved here, here, here. It cannot be moved here because there's a card on there, or here. So yellow could, if he wanted to, he sees that red's here. Maybe he sees red's going this way, so maybe he's going to screw over red by putting it there and then moving that delivery station over there. Who knows? And so then it starts off with yellow, and each player looks at their cards and they have to determine what they want to do. So let's say yellow looks at where he's at. He's going to be the first player, and he's able to take up to 3 cards. Now the thing also that I didn't mention is when you attach cards to your train here, they have to go from this one, then this one, then this one. One of the things you can do at the end of your turn is rearrange the cards in a station that you're at. So when yellow got here, instead of upgrading to a level 4 train, maybe, let's see, what's here? So this card would be delivered over here. This card would be delivered way over there, and this card would be delivered there. So maybe what yellow did, instead of going to a level 4 train, he went to a level 3 train, so he doesn't have access to this card yet. And the reason he did that is at the end of his turn, what he chose to do instead was rearrange the order of these cards, since he knew he would go first. So he's going to want to do is deliver here first, here second, and there third. So he's going to rearrange the cards in that order at the station, so that when he picks them up, he can hit all of those things on his turn. So that's what he did at the end of his turn. So it's the start of his turn now. So at the beginning of your turn, you are allowed to load up your train. So he loads up these cards. Actually, but what he would want to do is, the thing is, you have to unload them from the furthest back to forward. So actually, if he's going to deliver them in this order, he's going to want to have this one, the one he's delivering last, closest to him, and then this one, and then this one, which means the load order is you're going to want it like this, so that when he picks up the trains, first he takes this one, because that's going to be the last one to come off of his train, which is over here. Then he's going to tack on this one, which gets delivered over here, and then he's going to tack on this one, which gets delivered there. So that's what he's going to do. Now he knows to get here, it's going to be 1, 2, 3. It's going to be 4 moves to get there. 4 here, 1 there. So he's going to want 4. So 4 moves. So 4 to get to there, 1 to get there, so he'll want his 1 card. And then 2 to get there, so then he'll want his 2 cards. So that's the order that he's going to want to do them in. I want to go 4, 1, 2. So he set up his cards to roll that way. Now, before we start doing anything, red has to plan his order of cards, and he has all of his cards. So now red sees he's not going to be able to go this way, but he can go through the tunnel here, out there, and then to this spot if he wants. If he does that, he can pick up this train, but he might want to pick up this one first to deliver there, then deliver there. So he'll want to go 1 move, 2 moves to get there. So he'll want his 2 card, all right? And then he'll want to, as his bonus move, rearrange the order of the cards. And then he's going to want to deliver to here, which is 2. So then he'll use his special card, his 1-2 card, to allow him to go 2 spots. Okay, but he can't go 2 again there. Alright, so something else he could do, he could go 1 to out this tunnel, 2 to out this tunnel, 3 here. So then maybe he's going to start with a 3. So he'll go through a tunnel, then back through a tunnel and out a tunnel. That's the way the tunnels can be used to manipulate how you move. So he's going to do 3 there just so he can get there. Then he'll want to go 2 to that station. Then he'll want to go 2 to that station. And that's it. You only get 3 moves on a turn, so that's going to be the order that red's going to reveal his cards. And then blue's here. Blue has no idea what's going to come out because yellow's going to go first. So let's see. What's blue going to do? Blue might have to see what gets revealed and then move into this tunnel, out this tunnel, and then back here, and then rearrange the cards to an order that he wants to deliver them. So that would be 1, 2, 3 there. Then at the end of his turn, he'll rearrange the cards, but then he still doesn't know what he's going to have to deliver. He might want to go red loaded these cards onto his train here, and then his movement was 2, so he's going to go 1, 2, and at the end of his turn he's going to deliver this card to this station, so that just gets put over there. These should be getting filled up again, so these were taken over here, so 1, 2, 3, and these get 1, 2, 3. Alright, so that was red's second turn. Now it's blue's second turn. He goes 1 movement. Before he moves, he wants to make sure, or he's going to load these, so then, yeah, so it's going to be first, second, third, loaded onto the blue train. Okay. So he moves 1 space to this place here, which this is at the back of his train, so he's able to deliver that piece of cargo there. So that was blue's turn. Then it goes back to yellow. Yellow is going to move 2 spaces. Yellow's here. Yellow's train, what's he got? He's got this at the back of his train. 2 spaces takes him 1, 2 to there. And he unloads this cargo there. And then red reveals he can move 1 or 2 spaces. Red's here. His next one to unload is this one, which is here, which is 2 spaces away. So he moves 1, 2. He unloads this cargo there. So that goes into his warehouse. Then next is blue. Blue reveals the 3 spots. He's trying to get to this place here, which is over there. 1, 2, 3 away. 1, 2, 3. These two cards match the station he ended up at. Those go into his bonus spots. And then everyone takes their move cards back into their hand. The first player thing would get moved to the red player. The red player now takes this card and has to move it somewhere else on the board. It can't be moved here because there's trains there. It can't be moved here because there's trains there. This should have gotten refilled. It can't move there because there's cargo here. So he could either replace this tunnel, this delivery, this tunnel, or this tunnel. Those are the spots where it can be moved to. Red still has 1 cargo to deliver, so he's not going to want to screw himself up by putting it in between there. Can't really do much over there. There's really not a lot he can do. I don't know. He'll just put it here, I guess. Move the tunnel, whatever. it doesn't matter because I'm not going to play through the whole game. So anyway, it's getting convoluted, but it's because I'm trying to keep everything, not convoluted, but like a mess on the table, and it's because I'm trying to keep everything framed here, though it is kind of a mess of a game as far as things. It makes sense. I'm just saying, because it's a card game, it's kind of sloppy, but it's not usually this bad because I would be using the whole table to spread things out, and it would be better off. So some other things that, when they end their movement somewhere, as I was saying, they get to do an action, and mainly what I've been doing is either rearranging the order of the cars at the station they're going to pick up from, or they're using their delivery mode. But as I mentioned, there's all these other things that can happen. Upgrading the engine, you saw that. I did that for everyone. Attaching cars, again, that's where you just load them onto the back of your train. Swapping cars, you can take the last car, your cargo card, so like this, he has this cargo card on here, and he could drop it off here and swap it for this one here if he wanted to, and then he would have this one on there. Dismantling cars, that's what I was doing when I'm delivering them. You're dismantling them from your train because you're delivering them to your warehouse. Signing a contract, that's if you want to look, so you would take 2 contracts and you would look at them. So if someone did that and took a look at these, he goes, okay, I could get 3 of a kind of here. So 2 sets of 3 of a kind for 5 points, or a set of 2 of a kind and a set of 2 different for 3 points. You would choose one. So let's say you chose this one, whatever. The other one would go on the bottom of the contract deck. Changing order of cars. That's like I was doing, I was swapping them around. And then moving in, you can move an additional field. You can do an additional movement. So if I had played, that's something I could do. So if I had played a movement card of a 3, and so blue went 3 spots, 1, 2, 3. He can use his bonus action to move an additional spot 4, and then now he would be able to be here to do things there. So hopefully it kind of makes sense. I know it gets kind of hectic, but essentially, you have your train, you have your movement cards. You have to plan out where you want to go to pick up certain cargo, and then where they have to be delivered to. They deliver to the card with the matching card with the Cargotrain on it. And so you just kind of have to, in your head, plan out the movements to be able to do that. And then, so far, if we look at Blue's cards, Blue has 2 sets of the same train. What was Blue's? Blue's contract, a set of 2 the same, a set of 2 different. So he has that. He has at least 1 set of the same. Blue, all he has to do is deliver any one piece of cargo, and he'll be able to, as long as it's not this, doesn't make a triplet. But anyway, deliver another piece of cargo to make a different one. So he has 2 of the same, 2 different, and then bam, he would get that contract at the end of the game fulfilled for 3 points. But then is eventually all these cards, the ones that get here for delivery, they're going to be all used up and put out into the the different stations. And then once you get to a certain number, I think it's like equal. There's only enough cards equal to the number of players or something like that haven't been picked up and delivered. Once it gets to like around there, you're going to stop and you're going to score points. And then what's going to happen is you're going to get, for each card in the warehouse, it's going to be a point. So this is like 3 points here. But if you get a set of cards where you have like, if in my warehouse I had, if I had something like this in my warehouse, well, these 4 make a set. So these would each be worth 2 points instead of 1 point each. So 2, 4, 6, 8. And then this standalone card would be worth 1 point. So that would be 9 points. Whereas if I had this, there's no set here because I don't have 1 of each. So that'd be 1, 2, 3, 4 points. Additionally, after you do that, so like if this was my ending hand, like let's say this is my ending hand, it'd be, here's a set of cards, so 2, 4, 6, 8, 9, 10, and then any contracts that I was able to fulfill, if I fulfilled this one, plus 5. Anyway, and then highest score wins. Hope that makes some sense. Okay. Have a good day.